Hey, it's Gabby from Print Design Academy, where we teach graphic designers how to be experts in print and packaging design. Every year, we host a free graphic design challenge called the Color Bar Challenge, where we teach graphic designers just like you how to set up and export their files for print and packaging in InDesign and Illustrator. In this series, we're gonna walk you through the 5 steps to print-ready files. So let's get you started on the right foot. Day 1, document setup.
I'm going to show you how to do Illustrator and InDesign, just in case you're more comfortable with something. Just want to show you both of them. So day one, we're kicking it off with document setup. Document setup is super important. It seems simple, just set it up. But I want to emphasize that if you do it right from the beginning, then you don't have to go on later and add bleed and rejig stuff. So document setup, important. Let's get into it. So InDesign, here we are. We're gonna go ahead and get started by clicking New File. That's gonna bring the prompt here. So we're gonna need to choose a document size. With the challenge, we've left that up to you. You can choose what type of sizing you wanna have your document as long as it has one fold in it, but the sizing is up to you. I just wanna note though, however, in real life, this is supposed to be a direct mail piece. If you were doing a direct mail piece in real life, consult your client, talk to post people, because the sizing of that document will affect your postage charges. So just something to note. So for this challenge, we're gonna choose, we're gonna work in inches. That's how I like to work. And then we're gonna choose 5 by 5, something pretty simple, nice and square, easy peasy. So I mentioned a fold. With the fold, I would say that facing pages could work really well with how it lays out side by side, all that good stuff. And it is going to be double-sided. So I'm going to have 4 facing pages. And I'm going to show you a little trick when we get in here. So the start page number, if you know anything about the facing pages, it shows up with like a little cover and a back cover, typically with like a folded brochure situation. But by changing this start number, you can kind of jig it so it gets rid of that and looks cleaner. And I'll show you that in a second here. So getting onto columns, that's up to you. If you want to typeset, do however you want to go with your columns. Margins are super important though. You definitely want to have some spacing, some guidelines so that you can keep your artwork in the safe zone. So you don't have type kind of too close to the edges. So I like to work with a 1/2 inch. Just as long as it's up to 1/8 inch, then that's fine by me. But margins, definitely use them. Now bleed. So bleed is 1/8 inch. That is the artwork space around that goes past your trim line. So if you're working with any full bleed images or any artwork that goes past the edge of the pages, you want to use bleed. So set that up with 1/8 inch, and that just means that when it crops and it trims, you're not going to get any white or like misregistration where you're getting all this kind of not a clean look, you know what I mean? So bleed 0.125 inches all the way around. Now, that's that. We don't need to worry about the slug. We're just going to hit create here. Here's our file, and I want to show you a little bit about that facing pages thing that I mentioned. So you can see here, we've got our 4 pages, but it has that front cover, that back cover, that kind of traditional little look. In order to just change that, I can right click on the main page here, do numbering and section options, and start page numbering at 2. So when I hit OK, it's gonna force it into this sort of 2 and 2 setup. The other thing I wanna note, we didn't see it on the pop-up page for the document setup, but CMYK, you need to have CMYK workspaces. InDesign, one of the reasons why I love InDesign for print, InDesign naturally sets up your document in the CMYK space. It's pretty hard to go back into RGB. Now the next one we're going to go into is Illustrator. Illustrator, you have to be a bit more purposeful with choosing that option, but I'm going to show you that right now.
Hey there, you're clearly interested in learning more about print design. An important part of that is exporting your file for print. It's easy to miss little things along the way, so that's why we created the Print Ready Files checklist, and you can get that for free at the link in the description of this video. This easy to follow, step-by-step checklist will help you make sure your files are print ready before you send them to the printer. Graphic designers of all levels will find this to be a valuable tool. And it's free, so go check it out at the link in the description, and back to the video.
All right, so here we are with Illustrator. If you're working in Illustrator, go ahead and hit new file here, and we've got our document set up. Now, like we said, sizing, totally up to you. Choose your own adventure, have fun. So I was working with 5 by 5. So 5 inches by 5 inches. In InDesign, I was using facing pages, so I kind of was focusing on like my 5 by 5 working squares. In Illustrator, you don't get the facing pages option, so the best way to handle this is actually just to kind of do a full page of what your unfolded, your flat size would be. So for me, that would be 10 inches wide and 5 inches high. And I'm going to need 2 artboards, so that'll be, kind of inside and backside situation. And next is bleed. Bleed, super important. We covered it a little bit. Anything that's full off the page, full image, full color, extending past the trim, you want to do bleed for that clean, nice edge. And bleed is 1/8 of an inch, 0.125 inches all the way around. And this is the point I was making. So for this next section here, the advanced options, the point I made about Illustrator favoring RGB. InDesign, right off the bat, CMYK, so good, so easy for print. You need to make sure that in Illustrator, you are choosing CMYK color. If you don't choose CMYK, it's gonna mess up your swatches right from the gate. So definitely choose it here. The other thing that you can see here that's not on the other one is the raster effects. So raster effects is this PPI, DPI. For print, you want 300 DPI, that's dots per inch. Screen is 72. Anything on screen, 72 dots per inch. Print, 300 all the time. So CMYK and 300 DPI. Need those for this Illustrator setup here. And you can leave the rest as is. Just note, if you don't see these options, it's under here, advanced options. So go ahead and just click that open and you'll get that CMYK and 300. Go ahead and click create. And there we go. So there's our 2 artboards. Now, in order to get the kind of guiding going for where that fold's gonna be, we will be putting it in later, but yeah, it's always good just to throw like a little guide. You can kind of center that to the artboard. Another one over here. Oh, and center that to the artboard. And there we go. So then I have sort of my sense of my artboards, my working spaces, my front, back, and that's how you set it up in Illustrator.
So that's document setup. Now the next step in getting your files print ready are cleaning up your swatches and layers, which we cover in video 2 of this series, which you can watch right here.